We're live. Hey, we're live. And you know, one of these days I'm gonna make the time to create an intro video for us so it's not so freaking awkward for several seconds.
I still think we should do a pre-show, what we just started talking about before the show. And we do that, we show the pre-show right before the show. I think
We
it would be
can't I don't know how to do that. Let's just sit here and have a pre-show right now. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing pretty good. Can we curse like we were going before?
No, we can't curse.
Okay, forget it then. All right. I
You're
don't want
like
to
the
do the show
pre-show
again.
would be no fun then. Forget it.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Forget
Kellen
about it.
Ann. Hello, Kellen Ann.
Hey, we got Kellen Ann and Scott Smith and Megan Watson, and I know they're all going to share it out to their thousands of followers. we even have Facebook user. That's how dedicated people are. Like they
That
don't even
person is
care.
incredible. That Facebook user. I love that person.
One of my favorite people.
And just so you people want to know, this show, and Ken and I were just talking about it. This is new for us, but we're really excited about it. This show is about mindset. This show is about making everyone realize that they truly are. You truly are the creator of your success and happiness. And it's not what happens to you, it's what you do about what happens. And it's all about believing in yourself, regardless of the crap that life throws at you. It's taking you to a better place personally and professionally. That's what the show's about.
That's what it's about.
Of course, it's all
that's what life.
Based on my
shameless self plug, real
hey,
quick.
Wait, Bob told me to do it.
Bob told me. What's up, Ernest Odell? Skylar Herb is in the house. Ben Gay the Third. Do you know Ben Gay the Third?
I know the first and the second, and he helped me with a couple of aches throughout my life. But
wow, Ben is a legend, dude.
I know. I'm joking. Remember?
Oh, you know him?
I don't know him. I know of him.
Oh, he's a legend. So, dude, tonight's show, just so everybody watching, right, look, the closer's book. Come on. Right. So, Eric Flanoy.
You got it.
Look. He said, tell him not to rub it in.
That's funny, man. Wow. I'll tell the jokes. I hate when people are funny than me, so don't do that. I'm very sensitive.
Oh my God.
That's pretty funny. Tell him not to rub it in. That's pretty funny.
That's hilarious, actually. Nick shared it out. And you know, here's the craziest part. Steve hasn't even shared it out.
Yes, I have.
Steve, listen. The live video you've not shared out. You could only do that after we're live.
Well, the last episode I did. I shared it.
Well, you could where's your phone? Let me help you with this. Look, we're gonna do live coaching right now.
Oh,
so open up Facebook. Open up Facebook on your phone.
Okay.
So now go to if it doesn't pop up in the feed, just type in my name under search.
Facebook isn't even coming up right now. There's something wrong with the phone.
Oh my Lord.
Yeah, you know what happened when I got my new car? They tried to put the app in on Cadillac and they couldn't even do that.
Wow.
Yeah, I got to get on my phone.
Well, hey, as they would say in New York, forget about it.
Forget about it. We'll have to do something else. Improvise. No, really, there's something wrong with the phone. So anyway.
So look, Nick thinks he's funny. Wow. So look, so here's the deal. We're talking tonight about we were going to talk about the law of attraction. And we even have Australia in the house. Eva is joining us all the way from down under. You know, you tell a story. You told in last week. You told the story about Rodney Dangerfield and how he reached the highest heights of anybody in his career. I mean, everybody knows who Rodney Dangerfield is. Generations that never saw him know who he is. Like, it's insane, right? And he didn't feel like he made it. He didn't have the feeling that he did anything with his life, and that all the hoopla that was made about him was a bunch of BS. And I think that that's sad. And I think that it's sad that people live an entire life chasing something that they never catch.
Yep. Well, he put his happiness on hold. He was bitter that he didn't make it 40 years ago, 40 years earlier.
Right.
And that mindset just stayed with him. It always does, unless you realize what you're doing to yourself. It's always the awareness that you're in that negative zone, and he couldn't figure it out. And it followed with him every single year that passed. I should have made it 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago. And before you know it, he was up there in his age, and he had everything he wanted, and he still couldn't enjoy himself because that mindset stayed with him. So
where do you think the law of attraction starts? If you want to attract amazing things into your life, where does it start?
With your thoughts. Your thoughts.
Okay.
That's what truly successful, happy, optimistic people know about life. They know that they become what they think about day in and day out. They are profoundly aware that the thoughts that they have about any challenge will ultimately determine the quality of success and happiness they're going to have in regards to that particular challenge. Contrary to what most people think, it's not really the situation, the event, or the circumstance within itself that determines how successful and happy you're going to be. It's what you do about what happens. It's the thoughts that you have about it, because your thoughts have the incredible power to minimize or maximize the effect that that challenge has on you. And it's not just that, it's just that your thoughts create the beliefs you have about any challenge, and your beliefs write the story of your life. So
I agree. So when it comes to having having the right thoughts, which is what creates the actions and emotions that we experience in life.
Yep.
I think that there's one step before that, and that is finding gratitude.
But you can't have gratitude unless you think about the things that you're grateful for first.
Right.
So the thought has to come first. Right.
Okay. Right. Yes. Okay. But when you're going through the crap, when things happen and you're going and you know, you have to learn to force yourself to focus on the things that are good in the situation. There's good in you know, the silver lining, if you would, on any cloud. You know, learning how to find something to reframe it and be grateful about. Don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think everyone will agree, especially today more than ever, that most people start their days off in low moods at best. And the scary thing is, Ken, is that they're not even aware of what they're doing to themselves. Because as soon as they wake up, they didn't even take the covers off. The first thing they do is think about the challenging day, if not grueling day they had the day before, all the fires that weren't put out, all the irate people that they had to deal with. And this is how they start their day. Then they start thinking about all the crap that has to be done on that day. And they can't understand why, when they're starting their day, even after they had 3 cups of coffee, their energy level is rock bottom. I mean, just think about anyone that's listening right now. Think about your responsibility on any given day, the things that need to be done. Your energy level has to be cranked. And that's your choice and your responsibility. So I always suggest to people, when you wake up in the morning, before you take the covers off, why focus on all the crap that's not working in your life? Why not shift your focus and your way of thinking to the things that are working, the things that put a smile on your face, the things that'll bring you joy? And what that is what you just said. It's starting your day with an attitude of gratitude. And there's always something to be grateful for. Maybe the person lying next to you, maybe your children, the house you live in, a particular goal that you achieve. You're having friends over for a Saturday evening, or something wonderful, an event took place 3 days earlier that you have fond memories about. There's always something to grab onto. But it's part of the human condition, unfortunately, for us to focus on the crap that life throws at us all the time. not being aware of what we're doing, and it becomes a part of who you are.
Like Scott says, geez, Robert wrote a book. Scott says, don't date women who wake up in crummy moods with low energy. You know, and that's true. I mean, don't surround yourself with people who will bring you down. I think, and I've talked a lot about this in the past, and, you know, that you get around people. There are people in this world, and I've been there. I've been one of these people. So this isn't a judgment, it's an observation of self first. And now, since I have been there in the past, I easily recognize it quickly in other people. And that's people who are they want to hold they don't I don't think they intentionally want to hold you down. I think they just want to keep you at the level that they feel. And as a result, they'll do everything unconsciously to bring people down to their level and talk about, oh, did you see this on the news? Did you hear about how bad it is over there in the Middle East? Or did you see this or hear about that? And they want to share nothing but bad news and bring other people down. And I can't do that. I don't. And it's been me before. Go ahead.
And they're not even aware that that's who they are. That's their mindset that they created over a period of time. They feel comfortable. That's their comfort zone. Their comfort zone is to complain about everything that you can possibly think of. And these people, and if you're in an environment like that, and you know you're surrounded by people like that, that's your choice to become aware of what's going on and to leave. You know, and then you have to start figuring out who else you're going to be hanging out with. But there are people that just bring you down, and that's all they talk about. I know people who have I know it's okay to get a little annoyed when your car doesn't start and you're late for work. I get that, but there will people that will tell that story the entire week on how their car didn't start, and it's a new car, and I got ripped off again, and it's this and it's that, and I find that pretty amazing. And then you have people like Jennifer. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it goes back to what Jose's like, so true. I'm moving out. Oh, God. But you know, there's this comedian named Mark Lunholm, and I think I may have talked about this before. I'm not sure, but he said he's hilarious. He says, you know, at the end of every night, he's in recovery, but he'll go to a town and he'll do a show for the general public, and then he does a separate show that's all for just people in recovery, right? And he tells this bit about there's always at the end of every show, I'm always out there shaking hands, thanking people for being there, you know, all that. And there's always the guy that shows up and he's like, excuse me, Mark, I'd like to talk to you. And he's like, okay, we're here. What do you got? And he's like,
I know.
Well, you know that little piece you did about the bag of potato chips? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, I wanted to let you know that I found that highly offensive.
Yeah.
And he's like, why? Well, you didn't know this, but when I was a child, my uncle tortured me with bags of potato chips. And he's like, and I'd really appreciate it if you would stop doing that part of your. And he goes, you know, to the rest of the world, it's a snack, right?
Like, oh yeah. I'm telling you, I've gone through that in my comedy career and my speaking career. I had a woman come up to me once, and I was signing books, and I was with the CEO of the company, was right next to me, and a woman comes up to me and she goes, I enjoyed what you said. However, you mentioned God 3 times in your program, and I find that highly offensive. I said, well, why? Well, what do you think? I said, you don't believe in God. So she said, first of all, when someone comes up to me like that and I hear it coming, I even said to the CEO as she was walking up to me, by the look on her face, I went, oh, geez, here we go again. He goes, what? I said, just listen. So I said to the woman, I said, so you I guess you're an atheist. And she said, yes, I am. Do you have a problem with that? I said, no, not at all. I said, but being an atheist means you don't believe in God at all. You don't even believe God exists. So she said, that's right. And I said, well, I find that very puzzling. And she said, well, why? I said, why would you allow yourself to get upset over something that I said that you don't believe exists? If it doesn't exist, there's nothing to get upset about. Right. She said, well, what's your point? I said, my point is, I think you really do, or you did believe in God, but somehow along the way, something or someone screwed you up and you were hurt really bad. And she goes, that's it. I don't want to hear this. So I'm thinking I'm going to be in trouble from the CEO. And he looked at me, he goes, that was the coolest effing thing I ever heard anyone ever say. You get this all the time.
Well, you know, again, and I swear, I think that, look, I think there are people that are literally programmed to find things in life to be offended about. And that's okay. I get it. I'm not, it's not a judgment. I've been there. It's like driving down the road and, you know, I don't get, I mean, I have before, but I don't get ticked off anymore about people like driving like idiots or, you know, most of the time I don't get bent out of shape. I just, whatever, it is what is, you know, maybe they're having a bad day. But there are people who are constantly, if you're not complaining about how cold it is, you're complaining about how hot it is. If you're not complaining about, you know, how rainy it is, you're complaining about the lack of rain and the drought we're having or what, you know, and it's like,
I know.
How about just being grateful?
Yep.
How about that?
Yeah, exactly. Well, a lot of people say I have nothing to be grateful for. That's the big thing. You know, I have nothing. You don't know what I'm going through. And I'm saying it doesn't matter what you're going through. Whatever you're going through, there's always something to be grateful for. You know,
always.
I mean, I've been blessed to be surrounded by people, famous people, you know, that were grateful, and they've had to endure the most incredible circumstances, but yet they found something to hold on to. And knowing Christopher Reeve for that short time that I did, and what he did with his life, and he turned his life around all because he found out that one thing that he was grateful for, and he held on to that. And what he did with his life was absolutely incredible in that condition.
Yeah, it's true. You knew him?
Yeah, I saw him at, it's a pretty cool story. I met him in 2004 at the San Diego Convention Center with like 6,000 people. I was the opening keynote and he was the closing. And this was 5 months before he passed away.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. Do you mind if I tell the story?
No, go ahead. I'm going to give you full screen for it. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Ta-da! Yeah. So I was the opening keynote, and as I said, it was 5 months before he passed away. And when I got off off the stage, Dana Reeve was running right at me, right down the aisle in front of 6,000 people, ran up to me and grabbed me, put her arms around me, and she kissed me on my cheek, and she said, "Oh my God, that was absolutely wonderful. Chris would love to meet you. Would you mind?" And I said, "I'd be honored." So apparently when I was on stage, Chris, Dana, and about 4 other people watched my whole presentation in the green room. And when I finally went up and I met Chris, it was a total reality check, because when you hear about someone in that condition, that's one thing. But when you see it, that's a totally different vibe. And for those of you who don't know who Christopher Reeve was, he was the first actor that played a part of Superman in the early 80s in the movies. And he was paralyzed from the neck down as a result of a horseback riding competition. So when I walked into the room to see him, it was like it was unbelievable, because the only parts of his body that he could move were his eyebrows, his eyes, and his mouth. That was it. He couldn't move anything else. And he looked at me with this smile. He said, "Steve Rizzo, thank you for meeting with me. I just want you to know that I live by that philosophy about gratitude and holding on." And the second thing that he held on to was his sense of humor. His book, Nothing's Impossible, is a book about attitude, where he says that humor was the one thing. It's the longest chapter in the book that he was held on to and he was so grateful for. But that was the best compliment I ever received in my life. And when I had that time to see him after he gave his presentation. We talked for a while, and he's got real serious. And he said, my third day in the hospital, when I found that's the severity of my situation, he said, I asked Dana to please pull the plug. I didn't want to live. I didn't want to be a burden to anyone, and I didn't have anything to live for. And she lied down next to him and said, you're still you. There was still so much to be grateful for. And it wasn't till that next day when she walked in the room with him and he saw his children with her for the first time together, something clicked. He saw the way they looked at him and ran up to him. That was the first thing that he held on to that he was grateful for. That was the turning point in his life. And I say this story now, Kim, for all of you that may be thinking you have nothing to be grateful for. If this man could reach deep inside of himself to find that one thing that he was grateful for, and he built from there, I'm sure we could all find something. But here's the real miracle. What Christopher Reeve accomplished in those last 9 years of his life in that condition falls nothing short of miraculous. I don't even have time to tell you what he did in that condition. If you want to find out, folks, just Google it, what he did. And yes, he did pass away 5 months after that meeting, but that's not the point. The point is what we do with our lives and the time that is allotted us. And what he did was he did more in those last 9 years than most people that I know could do in a lifetime. And I know a lot of people. And he did it in that condition, and all because he found that one thing that he held on to that he was grateful for, and he built from there. And his sense of humor was the second thing. And then there were other things, and he realized he can think, and it was incredible.
Dude, that's powerful. I've I don't know where I got this thought from. I guess Bob. But I used to say, like, look, the only reason that the only reason that there's somebody calling you Stevie.
That's my friend Dak, one of my closest friends. I haven't seen him in 30 years maybe. Funny guy. We used to tour together. We used to tour together.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was my opening act, and I hated following him because he always killed. And we would be in hotels together where we'd share a condo together, and he'd always knock on my door and go, Stevie, it's Stacky, it's time to party.
Oh my God. I think the reason that people get into a place of a funk is they live in the future, and they drag their past problems into the future and project them onto future events. And so, I always think, if you were driving down the road, excuse me, and you swerved to miss a rabbit or something, or a deer or a whatever, and you ended up rolling your car into a ditch. You were upside down in the ditch looking out the windshield, and then you noticed gas dripping, and you smelled smoke, and you knew that there was a fire. The very last thing you would be thinking about is all of the things you're upset about or worried about at this moment. The only thing you would be thinking about is, how do I survive? How do I live?
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
So if a situation that intense can make you forget about the potential problems you have, then you've got to find that in the moment with gratitude and say, you know what? I can find something to be grateful about here. I can find something to be grateful about. I look at people in my family or people in my life that, maybe rub me the wrong way, or I project things into the future about them. And I think, wait a minute, I can find things to be grateful about that person or the situation as it is right now. Right now.
Absolutely. And that's what I suggested. I do this every morning, by the way, Ken, and I'm not lying to you. This is what Bob says to Bernie in the book. It's all about gratitude. Before I take the covers off, I know the mindset that I need to get things done on that day. And not,
Yeah.
not everybody wakes up in a great mood all the time. I know I don't. And
I
sometimes
do.
yeah, okay. That's because you know me. But so I wake up before I take the covers off, man, and I'm thinking of uh, the favor I did for someone the day before, or someone did for me, uh, uh, my family, my son, my grandchildren. I'll dig for anything I can to create that mindset, and it's amazing how it works every single time. And another thing that can help people first thing in the morning, rather than thinking about everything that needs to be done on that day and boggling your mind, say to yourself, who do I have to be in order to get it done? What mindset do I have to create so I can get the things done while enjoying the process? And you have that power to create that mindset within 30 seconds to a minute. The more you do it, the more it becomes a part of who you are.
I don't know who this Facebook user is, but I had the honor of hearing Christopher Reeve speak from his wheelchair. It was truly inspirational.
Yeah, he did. He went on after me. He spoke in his chair, and it was astounding. It was amazing. It was amazing. And like I said, Ken, I've been blessed in as a speaker and as a comedian to meet people. And when you tell a story like that from someone who is that famous, to me, for some reason, it has more of an impact. Nothing has more of an impact on people than the power of storytelling. And when you tell it of someone who was famous, like Rodney Dangerfield last week, or a personal story like my brother Michael's story, if I ever told that story, it has an impact on people because we all can relate somehow, some way.
Tell it. Tell the story about your brother Michael.
You know what? We'll do that another show because it's a story that really has to go from beginning to end. And all I can say right now that he's the biggest inspiration in my life, and he defied the odds, and he's going through some very difficult times now. But it's amazing what he accomplished.
Yeah,
it's amazing what he accomplished in his life. He did more than survive. He's a typical example of someone who thrived, didn't survive. He was in the hospital for 7 months when he got wounded. That was in 1969. Wow. 7 months.
Wow.
So we will tell that story at some point, though.
Oh, that was Jerry Eisenhower. Jerry's the one that said he saw Christopher Reeve speak from a wheelchair.
Jerry's a cool guy.
So we wanted to talk about the law of attraction tonight, and I got to tell you something. I've and I don't know if I'd mentioned this to you, but I listen to this Bob Proctor thing every morning. In fact, it is right back there, a little plaque that that Christopher Voss had made up for me and sent to me, which is amazing. And it's this, and there's an 8-hour recording on YouTube of Bob Proctor doing this. And Liz, I am anti-hokey. There, I said it. I am anti-hokey. I don't like hokey shit. It's like, look, just anyway. So I listen to this, and it's Bob Proctor and his happy voice, saying, "I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I am so happy." I'm like, take a breath, Bob. But it's, they dubbed it obviously, but I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. And it's got this really cool music playing. And so every day of my life for, I don't know, 60, 90 days at least, I've listened to that every single morning. And I have got to tell you, I am so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis.
You
I really am.
You've conditioned your subconscious that runs 97% of your life. Yeah.
I'm telling you, man, people don't get that. I say this, and you and I are on the same page with this stuff, just so everybody knows. People do not get that your subconscious mind is running 95, 96, 97, whatever the percentage is of everything you do. If I said to you, Steve, how many times have you blinked since we started the show? You would have no idea. How many times is your heartbeat? How many breaths have you taken? How many, whatever, right? So people, that's the rest of your life too. That is the rest of your life as well. And when you learn how to reprogram the unconscious mind that is butchering your life, because there's a good chance that it is, when you learn how to reprogram it, and it's just crazy, man. Because I honestly, I don't know that I've ever made as much money as I'm making right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
And it's not just about the money. It's about enjoying your life. It's about not going through life with tons and tons of stress. It's about, and it's a matter of what you believe, because you obviously believe in what it is that you're achieving, and you do more than believe. There's a feeling behind it, and feeling is the key. That's why I tell people, people say, visualize how you want your life to be. It works tremendously, but there's a difference between visualizing, and I don't like that saying that says fake it until you make it. That's bullcrap. That's bullcrap. Because if you're saying to yourself, I'm going to fake it, that means you're sending another message to your subconscious, like it's not going to happen because you're faking it. You have to feel what it is that you desire, whatever goal that you want to achieve. You have to feel that you already have it, as if it's already there in your world. You have to capture that feeling. You have to capture that power and go through the day going, wow, it's there. Because think about this. Everything that was ever created on this planet was first imagined. It was visualized. It was a thought. The Bible said, in the beginning was the Word. In the beginning was the Word. Then the imagination came. Everything that was created. Think about it. The airplane, the Wright brothers, electricity, Thomas Edison. You just keep going. The telephone. I mean, come on. And people thought these people were crazy, but they had this vision. They had this imagination that it could be done. They took action. Their thought process was unrelenting. They just kept going. And those thoughts gave them the power of intention. That's all they did, was put their minds. Did they succeed at first? No. They failed many times, over and over and over again. But they believed in themselves because their thought process was so consistent that they had an unshakable belief system. And they actually felt this thing that they knew was already created. It just hasn't manifested yet. So, and look what happened. Yeah. Look what happened. At once, where everyone ridiculed these people and thought they were crazy, all of a sudden, everyone said, wow, this is a miracle. There's a machine that can fly. Oh my God, we now have light. We don't have to light candles anymore. Oh, wow, I can hear somebody on this piece of apparatus that's 3,000 miles away. That's the power of intention. And they took action and they believed it. But the biggest thing is that they had this feeling. All the naysayers were like, look, Mark Victor Hansen and
Jack Canfield.
I
don't know Jack. I know Mark.
Sure. And Chicken Soup for the Soul.
Yep.
One of the most top 3 sold books on the planet.
No, the number one in the world, next to the Bible.
Yep. And how many times were they rejected? 147 times. And every time they got a rejection from an editor, they put that rejection letter on a wall.
Yep.
Because they refused to listen to what the naysayers were saying. And they got some pretty crude and rude letters back. No one's going to buy a book like this. And every time when they made it big, you remember that story, when they made it big, the editors were calling them saying, how come you never contacted us? And they said, we did. Here's the letter you sent us. Here's the letter of rejection you sent us. It's what you believe and how you feel about what it is that you believe that will cause you to get what you want.
I gotta point out a couple of things, and I want to talk about this. First off, Nick, you're correct. So I saw the movie The Secret, and I remember John Assaraf in that movie talked about he had just moved into his new home, and his little boy comes walking into his office. There's boxes all sitting around still, and his little boy sits down on one of them and says, "What's in this box, Dad?" And he's like, "Oh, it's just some or some, I forget what he told him." He said, "Let's open it and see." And he opens it and has his vision board in there, and he pulls it out and he said he's looking at it, and his eyes, he welled up with tears. And his little boy said, "What's the matter?" And he said, "It's this house that we just moved into. It's on my vision board from 10 years ago."
Yep.
And he said, and it's not a similarity to a house. It's the house that's on my vision board, the exact house. And, I think about back years ago, I when I saw that and read that and I lived that, and I decided I'm going to make a vision board. And I thought, I really put some thought into what is it that I want to accomplish? What do I want to do? And this is one of the things I wanted to do, is this, what we're doing right now, and what I've done with others and with Glenn Morshower. But I didn't know how to define this. I wanted to be a speaker on stages and changing lives and impacting people. And I do that now. Right. And so I get to wear Craig Duswalt's Rock Your Life shirt. And so, I just had to plug
and to
Craig.
hold my book up.
Love that dude. And I love you, man. And I love that book. So, I had this, because I'm a graphic designer. So I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make a Fortune magazine, and I'm going to put myself on the cover of Fortune magazine, leaning against my logo, which I did. And I put a title saying, Ken Walls, who is this guy? And then I put the subtitle being, America's wealthiest are reaching out to him for advice.
I love it.
I get random calls from Mark Victor Hansen. I don't know. He's got to be in the top of America's wealthiest. I'm friends with Grant Cardone. I've had conversations giving him advice on things for SEO and stuff on his website. And I've had, I've just had some of the most amazing people. You've called me with some technology stuff, asking for guidance and stuff. I just think about how that and everything else on that vision board has come to pass, by the way. Everything.
I love it. I'm looking at my vision. I'm looking at my vision board right now, and it says Conversations with Bob. It took me 7 years to write this book. You know what I went through. I had to go through a lot of stuff because Bob, who is God, kept telling me it's not ready yet. I'm looking at my vision board right now, and I took it out of the New York Times Sunday edition. It says Sunday Book Reviews Bestsellers, and right underneath it, I have Conversations with Bob.
Wow.
Right. I have them looking right at it because I know it's going to happen. Eventually, it will happen when it's supposed to happen. And I'm taking the proper action. And yes, have I had some defeats? Is it where I want it to be yet? No, it's not. Is that going to keep me from moving forward? No, because think about some of the success stories. Colonel Sanders, it took him over 1,000 tries to sell his chicken recipe. What if he would have quit on 999? He never would have known. Never would have known.
Jerry Eisenhower just put that up there about Colonel Sanders.
Oh, there it goes. It's right there. Yeah.
So,
look, Thomas Edison.
Right.
Over 10,000 tries to create the light bulb.
Yep.
Think about it.
I think that, and Scott Smith says law of attraction helps us open bandwidth for new opportunities. That's the other thing. So people are like, all right, I'm going to try this thing out. I'm going to try this new positive mindset and start attracting better things into my life. That does not mean sit back and wait. It does, in the book Think and Grow Rich, he talks, there's a chapter on sex transmutation in that book. Mm-hmm. And forever I didn't know what that meant. I was like, what in the world does that mean? What does it mean? But when you think about, when you meet, if you're single and you meet somebody that you're attracted to and you feel like, wow, this is the one, I really want to get with this one. And you use that same energy, that it's that sexual energy, that attraction. You use that same energy when going after a goal, a target, a vision that you have. You take that same energy and you use it towards the pursuit of, because when I don't know about you. I mean, this rarely happened to me where a woman said no. Just kidding. I'm kidding. That's a joke. It's a joke. But when somebody tells you no, or you don't, they don't have the same feelings you have. My wife's on.
Oh, I know, it's what I was just thinking. Look, there she is.
So funny. She said, "Wow." But when
sorry, Jill. I think I brought that out of him. I don't know what it is.
She lives with me. She knows. So, but like when you take that same energy where you're pursuing somebody that you're interested in like that, and you use that same energy to pursue a goal, to pursue a target, take that energy. But here's what look, Jerry said, that's got to be Jerry. And then the fight began.
And then the fight began.
But you use that same energy to pursue what it is that you really want to bring into your life, that what you want, what's your intention, and how are you going to bring that in? And you focus. But like, again, you just said a minute ago about they don't give up. They didn't give up. Edison didn't give up.
No, you have that choice right there. If it doesn't work, you just go, okay, look, this is why you came into my life and I came into your life, because I know, we both know we are on something. Something is going to happen. I could just feel it with Craig and with Glenn. I was brought into a whole other group. We bonded immediately. And, but getting back to what you were saying, it's the way the law of attraction works. When you need help for another step, other people come into your life out of nowhere. You came into my life out of nowhere. It was just people say it's a coincidence. No, because if you're on the right track and you believe in yourself and you really feel it's going to happen, that's when the universe opens up and your belief in Bob or God or the force or the light, whatever you want to call it, comes into your life. And these serendipitous events come, and all of a sudden things start becoming a little easier, as opposed to when you're setting out to achieve a goal and you hit a wall and you start going, oh, I can't believe this is happening to me right now. Why is it every time I try to do something, it never works? I invested all this money for what? This isn't going to work. I'm not lucky enough. Everybody has what I want. You're not going anywhere with that mindset. You're not going anywhere in that mindset. That's the law of attraction answering you the other way. You're manifesting the complete opposite of what you want.
I totally agree, man. I think that people, and again, I've heard from, how do I say this? I don't want to tick anybody off. But we might as well talk about it. I'm a Christian, and I believe in what I think that the very thing we're talking about, Jesus taught. And he was radical. He was such a radical thinker. And I think that people get all bent out of shape and they say, well, Jesus just doesn't want me to have it right now. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm opening it up, man. Here's the can
channeling
opener.
Jesus. I'm channeling Jesus. This is Jesus going, oh, you got me all wrong.
He's going, oy vey. So people giving, like, it's almost like they're so afraid. And Marianne Williamson talks about this in her A Return to Love, her book. Hey, there's
Yeah.
Cynthia Mannion. Cynthia, how in the world are you? So it's not what you're incapable that you're afraid of. Most people are afraid of that unbelievable power that's inside of them. And so they
Absolutely.
choose to blame God or Jesus or the devil or whatever, or, instead of stepping out into faith in themselves. Faith in themselves. Yes,
Yeah.
have faith in God. Yes, have faith in Jesus. Yes, have faith in whatever it is you believe in. But there has to come a point in your life where you stop blaming everything outside of you and start taking responsibility inside of you and take some freaking action in life. Take that risk. Take a
Yep.
gamble. Nick,
Yep.
I'm talking to you right now.
A dream will always be a dream unless you start taking action.
You
And
got to
you have
take
to
action.
believe in yourself. You have to release your authentic self, the God part of you. In the book, if you remember when you read the book, and Bob says to Bernie, when Bernie is blaming Bob for not answering his prayers, he goes, I answered your prayers, but you pray with the same negative attitude you have about life. And he goes, well, what are you talking about? He goes, Bernie, have you ever heard the saying, God helps those who help themselves? And he said, yeah, I heard it my whole life. And Bob goes, well, apparently you don't know what it means. You have to meet me halfway. You can't ask me to help you if you're not willing to help yourself. That's the law of attraction in action. You have to believe that I'm going to be there. You have to feel that you already have what you want. It's just a matter of time before it happens. But every time you prayed, I planted the seed possibility and you squashed it with your own negative emotions for manifesting into the desire that you wanted. You have to meet that higher part of yourself. I don't care if you call it God, Bob, Henry. I don't care. Superwoman, Superman. It doesn't matter. That part of you is there.
Yep.
And I know we all have our moments. I do. I've been going through some stuff this past couple of months. I called my sister-in-law a couple of weeks ago and I vented. I had a vent, but I knew what I was doing and I stopped myself and said, now I got to get back on track again. Because if I would have kept that up, that would have lasted for weeks and weeks, and I would have went back on 1,000 more steps. You just can't do that to yourself.
My wife just said, Ken just reminded me last night at dinner to stand up and ask for what you want and expect to get it. If you don't, you set yourself up to be a victim. I'll tell the story. We were sitting there. I ordered, she ordered. We were at a Mexican restaurant. I'm vegan, so I'm trying to eat as clean and vegan, stuff as possible. And she ordered something, and they brought her these beef things, and she said to the guy, oh, it's beef. I thought it was chicken. And why is it beef? And he said, no, you didn't say it, so it comes automatic as beef. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I guess if that's what it is. And he goes, you look, and he runs and gets a menu, and he comes back, see, she's like, I saw chicken, I didn't see beef, I just assumed that it was beef or chicken. And he said, no, it's automatic beef if you don't tell me. And I'm watching this thing occur, and I'm like, we're talking about a couple of taco things or whatever the hell they are. Like, it's some flour and tortilla and the filling. Like, can we not fix this? Like, it takes 3 minutes in the kitchen anyway. You guys come out faster than anything I've ever seen. And I'm just sitting there watching this, and he said, I will get you chicken. And she said, no, that's all right. No. And I interrupted and I said, you want chicken? Let the man get you chicken. Get chicken. Go get her chicken. Take this. Go get her chicken. And he walked away, and I said, you want chicken? You got to say, I want chicken. I want chicken. Yes. Why the hell did you bring me beef? I don't want beef.
Yeah.
You got to stand up for yourself. You got to freaking, you know what I mean?
In every aspect of your life.
Yes. I mean, it's the truth.
Yeah. Well, that's another sign in life. I believe that's like a little signs stating to everyone in your family, like a lesson learned, you get what you put out there. Don't be afraid to speak up for yourself. It goes on every facet of your life.
I used to be friends with this guy that used to work for Grant Cardone, and he told me this hilarious story one time. He said, I'm sitting in the lunchroom, and I won't talk about his name, but it's a funny story about Grant and how limited everybody's thinking is. He's sitting in the lunchroom. He's like, in this, I'm having this spaghetti, and the breadsticks that come with the spaghetti are the best breadsticks in all of Miami, and everybody knows it, right? And he said, I'm sitting there eating and getting ready to eat. I just opened up the box. I'm getting ready to eat, and Grant walks in. He's like, hey, what's going on, man? And oh, you got from whatever the Italian joint is. Like, yeah, getting ready to eat lunch. And he's like, cool, man. He reaches down and takes my only breadstick and starts eating it. And he goes, what are you doing, man? That was my only breadstick. And he goes, oh, are they not making any more breadsticks?
Ask for more. Hello.
He said, right. He's like, well, yeah. He goes, cool, man. Go get another one. And just and walks out. You know, and the point is, you know, is it cool to take somebody's food? I don't know, man. It is what it is. But when you just open up your mind and go, look, the only rules are the ones you're setting. You're setting the rules.
Yep.
And the speed limit is only 65 if you get caught.
That's true too. Or you can do what I do and you get pulled over by a cop. I have a ton of jokes.
What? Tell me. Come on, give me some.
Well, I when I was living in California, cop pulled me over. He goes, "Didn't you see that stop sign?" I said, "Yeah, I just didn't see you hiding behind it." He goes, "You drinking?" I said, "I don't know. You buying?" He started laughing. He went back to his car to get right up my ticket, but I saw him in my rearview mirror laughing his ass off, you know. And he comes out. Right. He goes, "I can't." He goes, "Listen, I can't give you this ticket." He goes, "I needed to laugh today." He goes, "I really appreciate it. Just be careful when you drive." And he's laughing as he's telling me to be careful.
Look who's on. Jennifer Gittimer.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Now, you talk about a wonderful person. You talk about looking at life throwing something at you. She bought a new Porsche, okay? Now, she was going to be on my show. She was on my last show. Hey, I'm talking here with Eric. Eric Bam. And now, you know, if your car breaks down, it's a little annoying. Her brand new Porsche broke down, but she promised me she was going to be on the show. She was being towed for 2 hours in the back of a truck, and she was doing my show in the back of her Porsche as it's being towed. And she was in the greatest mood. Now, who else do you know who brought a brand new Porsche and it's not working and has this wonderful attitude to commit to doing the show? And she was great on the show, and we had a wonderful time.
Most Jen's amazing.
I can't do the show. I can't do it.
My Porsche broke down.
Porsche broke down. Oh, I feel sorry for that. You have a Porsche to begin with.
I know, right? That's so awesome. She's amazing.
Yeah.
So
that's a life lesson.
She texted me last night because, you know, there's all these fake profiles all over the world using my pictures and videos, and one of my fake profiles, somebody that has a fake profile tagged Jen Gittimer in their post on Instagram or something. Like,
wow.
Yeah, they're idiots. I mean, they follow me.
Yeah.
Using my pictures. Like, what? Anyway, so huh?
Who the hell would want to follow you?
I know, it's crazy. But you know, I think that look, I think that it really comes down, and I pulled this up. I want to read this. I don't look, haha. I mean, it is what it is, you know. Life goes on. There are better things to fret about. I concur. So I pulled this up. I want to read this, if you don't mind, Steve. I
don't mind.
Marianne Williamson wrote a brilliant book called, well, it's not as brilliant as Conversations with Bob, but she wrote a brilliant book called A Return to Love. And in that book, it's an awesome book. It's unbelievable. It's life-changing if you open up your heart and your mind. And Yeah, that's exactly right. And so she wrote this little poem called Our Deepest Fear that's inside of that, and I want to read that. It's Do you mind if I read that?
No, please go right ahead.
So it's our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others.
Yep. Yep. And
Beautiful.
it's, yep.
I don't like her politics, but I love her writing.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She wrote a testimonial for my first book, Becoming a Human Being. She her writing is insanely, it's great. It's over the top. So that was well said. That was no, it was good. It was really good. No, you know what it is? Because her whole thing comes from fear. And her thing is every negative emotion comes from fear. Anger, self-doubt, overwhelm, jealousy, envy, despair. It all stems from fear. And it's fear which is what keeps us back. So,
you said it's because her book is literally a condensed summary of A Course in Miracles. Yes. Somewhere I have the book A Course in Miracles, and it's like that thick.
Yeah, I have it. Yeah.
It's crazy. I've never read the whole thing. I've read little parts of it, but
well, she teaches it.
Right. And a horrible summary of A Course in Miracles would be this. Mm-hmm. Everything that we experience in life can be subcategorized under one of two things. Number one, love. Number two, fear.
Yep.
Love or fear, period.
I agree. That's why in this book at the end, and I'm not tooting my own horn, I'm telling you there's a reason why this book took me 7 years. The last chapter is called The L Word, and that's love. And he saved this for Bernie for last because everything that he taught him in this book to turn his life around has to come from the foundation of love. And that's what the whole thing is about.
And, you see, so just so you don't feel like resentful, I want you to see, because Steve threatened to get on a plane and come to my house and read this book to me. I said, dude, I've got about a fifth of the book left, maybe about that, something like that, maybe a fourth. I'm not sure. But
how do you know I bought a ticket to go fly to your house?
Right. But look, dude, I'm using, that's the bookmark. I'm almost at the end. See?
I get it.
See? So I'm it's like a fine wine, although I don't drink. I'm savoring every word.
That was so well said. God, what a crock of crap.
Man, I think yeah. Anyway, so Jeffrey and I are joining. When are we going to Walls? That's funny. No, let me read the book first. So anyway, look, I think that when it comes to the law of attraction, that's what this episode is about, is the law of attraction, how your thoughts are forming your everything in life.
Yeah.
And look at this. Eva's rereading your book.
Wow, Eva, thank you. Yeah. I thank you all for the reviews that you've given on Amazon. I really do. Some of these reviews, not all of them are. They're all. Jennifer gave a wonderful review for the book. Heartfelt stuff. As you know, when you blew me away when you told me you wanted to do a podcast with me to begin with was an honor for me to do it. And then when I said, what are we going to call it? You said Conversations with Bob. And when you told me, because that's what we're going to be talking about, the strategies and the shifting habits that are in the book is everything we talk about, letting us know that we are the ones that are in control of our lives, that there is a higher part of us that we can connect with and communicate with anytime we want to.
Look what Lori just said. She just got home from working in Orlando, and her copy was waiting for her when she got home. Wow. Yay, Lori.
Cool, Lori. Cool. So anyway, yeah, I appreciate you and everyone else for supporting the book. It's what I was put on this planet to do. So,
of course, I think there's probably more for you to do.
Oh yeah, because book 2 is almost finished.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, look, it's what's crazy is Dr. Dyer talked about the change your thoughts, change your life.
Yep.
And all of this, and I've read everything he ever put out, and I read the entire book.
Yeah, you read all his books, but you can't finish reading my one book, right?
I'm getting there. I'm getting to it. So, but I think honestly, I think there is nothing more important in the world than helping people readjust the way that they think and what they're focusing on, how to get out of the crap that life throws at you and how to turn it around, because you can. I've been there. You've been there. We all have been there. Everybody. I've not met one successful person financially, spiritually, or otherwise that hasn't been through the crap in life.
And every one of them that went through the crap will say what I'm going to say right now. My biggest challenges, the things that I used to curse, have become my greatest blessings.
Yes. Melanie Jones. Melanie sent me, she literally sent me a book in an email. Like, she typed out I'm like, how did you even type that fast? We hung up 20 minutes ago. And it's like this book. And I'm like, Melanie, I don't read long emails. I'm sorry. You're going to have to give me the Reader's Digest condensed version. And she's like, I'm sorry. And blah, blah, blah. It's so funny. I don't.
That's funny.
She's like, so look, if you change the things that you focus on, and the best way to change the things that you focus on is to get out a pad of paper and a pen and start writing down all the things that you're grateful for in this moment. And then tomorrow morning, if you wake up and it's still this moment, then write down everything that you're grateful for. And then tomorrow evening, if it's still this moment tomorrow evening, get out a piece of paper and a pen again and write down all of the things that you're grateful for. And you make that a habit. You literally, and listen to the things by Bob Proctor. Listen to the things by everybody out there. Listen to those things about how to have the right mental attitude, how to focus on the goodness in life, and you'll start attracting things into your life that you won't even believe. Like, I can't believe my life today. Can't believe it.
Yep, we talk about it all the time, you have to do this in the morning before you go to bed. You should have that mindset too. Don't watch the news. Don't do everything. Think about all the things you're grateful for that day before you go to sleep. And you wake up in the morning, promise yourself you won't take the covers off until you create the mindset that is needed for you to get through the day, and to assure yourself that no matter what happens, you'll make that choice to enjoy yourself during the process. We all have the power to do this. It's creating your own mindset. It's taking control of your life. It's telling life, I know you're there. You're going to throw shit in my face maybe today, but there's something within me that can meet it head on. And that will allow you to become victorious rather than becoming a victim. You can turn it around. It's all based on choices. Your whole entire life is based on the choices that you make. And for every choice that you make, whether it's made consciously or unconsciously, there's always a consequence. That's up to you.
Totally agree. It's like you said, hey, Debbie. So it's like you said about Christopher Reeve, and I mean, dude, He literally, you said he could only move his eyebrows, his eyes, and his mouth.
Yeah. And hearing that story, Ken, was just to hear him say it when the only part of his body, but you don't see that. Your mind isn't on that. Your mind is on the energy in this man.
Yep.
Thanking me for saying what he believed. And I never met him before. And when he told me that story, that he looked at Dana and said, please end my life. I'm not worth anything to anybody. I mean, here's a guy. He was more of a Superman after his accident than he was in any movie role that he ever played in, ever. Especially after what he accomplished in that condition, all because he found that one thing that he was grateful for and he wasn't going to let it go. And then he found other things.
And he made the choice.
Yeah.
He chose.
Yeah.
He chose.
Yes.
And that's the part that people need to get. You get to choose your outlook. You get to choose it. You get to choose what you focus on. The law of attraction isn't about, going, well, I created this vision board and I'm trying to attract a jet into my life and a Rolls Royce with a chauffeur. And no, it's maybe those things are good and that's what you want, but you literally have to choose to focus on what you're grateful for in this moment. You have to choose to focus on that and then expand that gratitude into everything that you do.
Yeah. And people have to understand, that was so well said, Ken. People need to understand too, that the law of attraction does not show favorites. It doesn't show right from wrong or fair or unfair, good from bad. It only responds to how you respond to life situations. If you keep thinking you're a victim and life is screwing you, you're always going to get screwed. You're always going to find something. Life will always throw something your way because like attracts like. Your thoughts will create this belief system that you have. And then those beliefs will create the way that you feel on every day. Most people go through the course of every day feeling like shit.
Yeah.
And when you do, life is going to keep throwing shit your way.
Amen. I totally agree. Lori says, I'm grateful for the wisdom in these conversations with Bob.
Thank you, Lori.
Hey, thank you.
And by the way, Lori, you're right, because this is Bob speaking through us. God, Bob, whatever you want to call it. Right, Ken? I mean, it's not, there's no coincidence. This is why we're here doing this.
And my wife, we'll see. Jill, I love you. We will be driving down the road and I'll hit a red light once in a while. It's very rare that I hit a red light, but I will. If she's with me, she's like, this light always catches me. And just the other day, and I said, that's weird. It never catches me red, but there must be a reason for it. And
because she's saying it always catches me red.
Yeah, right.
It always will.
Why it have to catch me red? But it really is. Look, I knew she was going to say this. I always get parking spots up front, and I literally do. Literally, we'll go to a store or something, and I'm like, oh, my spot's not open. I'll think that. And I'll think, oh, it's going to open up. Let me just swing through the back of the parking lot and get up here. And bam, there it is. And I go, there we go. And she's like, how do you do that? I'm like, I know it's going to be there. I expect it. And when you expect great things in your life, when you expect good things, when you expect magical things, those things occur.
Yep.
When you expect to be given the ability to help millions of people have a mindset shift, guess what happens? They show up. Show up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
They do. They really do show up. And people start appearing in your life. Like I said, this is what happened with you and I, and this whole thing that we're doing now. Stuff just happens. Conversations with. Thank you, Debbie. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Debbie. What a great way to end the Sunday. I concur, Nick. I concur. And yes, Megan, shift happens.
Yep. When shift happens, do something about it. That's the title of one of my books, Get Your Shift Together. But that's one of the things that Bob teaches Bernie, shifting habits, how to shift your way of thinking to turn your life around. Because what you think is what you get. And what you say out loud is what you ask for.
Well, dude, we are a little over, we're at an hour and 9 minutes. This goes too fast for an hour.
So let's next time do it a little longer. Can I ask people to purchase the book on yourinnerbob.com?
No.
Okay. Can you purchase, folks?
Of course,
if you're interested in purchasing the book, and I suggest that you do. This is like what Debbie, our friend Debbie, just said. Go to yourinnerbob.com. That is the webpage, www.yourinnerbob.com. You can purchase the book there. It has excerpts, some parts of the book that you could read. There are video clips you could listen to, and there it is right there on the bottom. And
I bought 10 of your books, dude. And
so did Debbie. That's what Debbie just said in her little message there. She bought books and she's giving them to people as gifts. Debbie, I love you. Thank you for doing that.
Debbie is awesome. My friend just recommended your book on her business page.
Wow.
Megan is going to buy a few for Christmas gifts. Megan,
wow.
It's an amazing book. I mean, I am almost finished with it. Maybe there's an unconscious thing that I don't want to be done with it.
I'm only kidding with you. You know that, right? However, if you're not finished with it by tomorrow, we're not friends anymore. That's all I'm saying.
I'm kidding with you. It's not an unconscious thing. I'm intentionally not reading it just to piss you off.
well,
I want to see how great the Bob in you actually is.
I'm going to get Jill to get on your nerves now. I'm going to have Jill start hitting you in the back of the head with the
book. She hasn't read the whole thing either, so she can't judge.
Well, then you hit her in the back of her head, and both of you read the book.
Are you encouraging domestic violence? What? No. So look, I'm just kidding.
I know.
All right. So Lori said she bought 2, but she's going to get more. That's awesome.
Love you, Lori. Thank you so much. Thank you. I guarantee you, folks, this isn't boasting. I know this for a fact. This is Bob talking. After you've read the book from cover to cover, you will realize how much power you have over every aspect of your life. It's the law of attraction put in layman's terms. It's a conversation between two people, your inner Bob and your inner Bernie. And that's it.
Maybe we can have a dang book club and finish it all together. Maybe we should start a Conversations with Bob private Zoom book club where people get on and we have the author. That was a joke. You know, when you don't laugh at my jokes, it hurts my feeling.
I'm sorry. I was about to, but I was trying to find out what was funny about it first. Then I would have laughed.
Oh my God. Wow. Oh, Steve lost his signal, right? What a horrible, horrible, horrible thing to happen. Right when he was trying to be funny, he lost his signal. I'm just
That's
kidding.
Good. Mr. Tech Man, I apologize. I so apologize. See, I don't like you right now, okay? I told you I'm very sensitive.
I love you, dude. Look,
love you too,
Nick wants to know if you ship the book
to the Falkland Islands. Hey, Nick, what Falkland Islands you talking about? There's Falkland Islands all over the place. What am I supposed to put on the test for crying out loud? You moron. All of a sudden you guys are starting to tick me off. Nick, I'll hit you so hard your family will die, all right? I'll punch you with so many rights you'll be begging me for a left. You know what I'm saying? I'll kick you so far up your butt, your breath will smell like shoe polish. You know what I'm saying, Nicky? Sorry, you got me going now.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
I love this.
Is so funny. Holy crap. Wow.
Did I say something wrong?
Oh my God, that is so funny. Holy crap. My face hurts. My breath already smells like
My breath already smells like shoe polish. That's funny.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
I will buy some books because I thought can't see, like, you can't put the blame on me because you didn't buy the book, Jose. Jose's a good dude,
I
man.
thought Clint bought one for me. That's pretty funny.
I bought 10 of them. Did I not send you one?
You're not talking to me. I wrote the book. Why are you sending me
Not
my own
you.
book?
I'm talking to Jose.
Well, be clear there, huh? Oh, geez, I'm supposed to know who you're talking to. Oh, maybe if you took your time and made it clear to the audience. Oh, my.
Oh, my Lord, have mercy. One of these times when we do this, you got to do the Falkland Islands bit.
You should play it the next time we do the show.
I'm afraid it's copyrighted. I can't do that.
It's my bit.
Every time I've shown clips of Glenn in a movie with Glenn.
That's my bit. I did it. They gave me the rights to that. I already have the rights to that.
But it's not on your YouTube channel.
Yes, it is.
It is?
Yes, it is.
It is?
It is. Yes.
Are you sure?
No.
Why are you blurry? What's wrong
I don't know
with
what
your
happened.
camera? Go like that and then move your hand back. Serious. Against the camera. Good Lord. Oh, is this what an aneurysm feels like?
I don't know. All I did was see your hand, and you said put it there. Okie dokie. Wait a minute. What the hell is that supposed to do?
Oh, hold on. You're gone now. Oh, there you go. It looks blurry to me. Jill says you're not blurry.
Happened. Maybe it's the internet.
Jill says you're not blurry.
Oh.
You're blurry to me. Anyway, hey, Megan said I'll see you in the next time in the Falkland Islands.
Again,
look, Lori said you are blurry.
Well, what do you want me
to
do?
Eva said you're blurry. You're blurry. It's not the internet. How can you blame the internet for being blurry?
Well, you stalled before. You froze. What are you going to blame me for that?
I did that on purpose.
I didn't say, hey, Ken, you froze.
Jill said I don't have my glasses on, though. You've been blurry ever since I got on here. I don't know if you're more blurry now or not. You're just blurry.
I don't know what happened.
It's all right. Don't worry about it. Forget about it.
We're almost finished anyway. There you go.
About it. Yeah, there it is. What'd you do?
Well, it was coming out of the it was getting loose there on the wire. It was pulling out of the laptop.
Sandy Archer said, I'm late again.
Oh, Sandy, we'll start the show all over just for you.
Well, and that's not something you ever want a woman to say to you.
You've got your friend.
All right, that over the line. Did you ever see
Dave? Just want to let you know I'm late again. Oh, geez, it's another couple of weeks. Got to live in fear. What about my needs, huh?
Jill said again. Wow. Oh my God.
What do you mean you're late again? You can't do this to me. What are you talking about?
Oh, dude, that is so funny. That is so funny. Oh my God. Sandy Archer said, oh, wow. So
what?
Listen.
What?
It literally, Newman. Yes. Newman.
I want to do a conversation with Bob Book Club.
On Zoom.
On Zoom, yeah.
Well, then
that was your idea. I love it.
It's a great idea. I think that authors that are writing good books, such as yours, should be doing that and getting people to sign up for a membership. Like, hey, come and join this mailing list. We'll email you the link every week. You get on here. I'm reading the book. We're going through it. We're conversing about it for 1 hour. Here you go. You start building up your list from that. And for all you authors watching, if you're not doing this, why? I don't like this is some of the stuff that we're going to be talking about down in Florida at our mastermind. Nick, hey Steve, tell Nick he needs to be there, but Nick needs to be there. I do know. Hold on, where'd she go?
I think everyone needs to be there. Actually,
I totally agree. Lori is already signed up. She's going to be there. My wife is going to be there. And Nick says, LOL, agree. I do. My wife says they do, meaning everyone needs to be there. So Scott says this, and dude, look, here's the thing, man. Jose will be there. There you go, Jose. Anybody else that's signed up and watching, make sure you pop your comment in that you're going to be there. So we can all, put that social pressure on Nick so he'll get a pass for him and his wife. I think though, honestly, I think that everybody writing a book, if it's any good, especially from somebody famous like you, like I have your cell phone number, I can harass you 24 hours a day. And I do sometimes just for fun. But like, you're a famous guy. You don't put your information out there, and you're not arrogant. It's just that it's a lot. Like a lot of people want to talk to you. And so if you have a certain level of fame like that and celebrityness, you should be doing what I'm talking about. You should take your book, start a book club, do a weekly Zoom meeting where you get on and you read the thing to people and then talk about the chapter you read.
That's a great idea.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I want to say thank you very much, man. I'm going to start a book club, man. It's going to be conversations with Bob and Sonny Ray. It's going to be a beautiful thing, man. We're going to do it. So we're doing it in Memphis, man, back in Graceland.
Jeez.
I used to do a joke. You want to hear my impression of the ghost of Elvis Presley?
Oh God. Yeah.
You ready? Wait. Boom. Want to hear it again?
No.
Sorry. I am so sorry. I had
Oh my God. Now you know why he left comedy and got into motivational speaking.
I was asked to leave. Steve, not only are you running out of material, the last few really were terrible. Man, I could do other ones. Wait a minute, baby. Wait.
Yeah. Look, Robert said Elvis has left the building. Look, Scott said don't quit.
Hey, wait a minute. I'm being heckled. Here.
Oh, no. No heckling the great Steve Rizzo. No, trust me. I know a bunch of porn stars that tried that once.
Yeah, yeah, boy. Mm-hmm.
What was that? What was that movie? Johnny Dangerously. Do you remember that movie?
Yes. Yeah.
He's like, you shouldn't hang me on a hook. My mother hung me on a hook once. Anyway, all right. Hey, that's it. Let's wrap this up. We're 20 minutes.
Thank you for supporting the book, everyone. Thank you so much. And Ken, I love you, man. Thank you for.
I love you too.
I'm so glad we're doing this show. I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
And it's not just supporting the book; it's supporting the show. It's supporting everything.
It's supporting the show. The message. It's not just. It's the message in the book, man. To create the mindset you need to get to where you want to go in life.
There's nothing more important. Nothing more important. Nope. All right. Hey, love you all. Thank you. If you shared this out, if you did not share this out, redeem yourself and share it out. And maybe you'll be invited to the Steve Rizzo Book Club for conversations with Bob.
That Ken and I are going to be doing together.
That Steve is going to be doing by himself with Bob.
No, Ken and I are going to be doing it together with Bob. You started it. You're the one that said you're going to do it. Now you're going to back out and say,
I didn't say.
See, that's why nobody likes you.
Back the film up. Did I say I was? I don't think I said I was going to do it.
You said that's what we ought to do. You said we.
Folks, I said you.
You said we. You started off with we. That's what we ought to do next. We ought to do a conversation.
I feel like doing the Jerry Seinfeld whining thing.
What are you talking about? You said it was me, then it was you. You didn't say that. Why should I have to do everything? What's wrong with you? Oh, I can't do this by myself.
Oh, well. All right, you guys have an awesome night. Steve and I are going to wrap this up and have a fight. So I will.
I don't want to go now. Wait a minute. Bob says, wait, hold on.
Oh, my God. All right, see you guys. Have a good night. Steve, love you, brother.
Love you too, man.
Don't leave. Bye. Don't leave, dude. Don't leave. Jeez. I'm just ending the live stream. That doesn't mean leave. For the love of everything holy. All right. Hey, see you guys.